Right now on Denver 7 News, with fresh snow covering the metro this morning, our Weather Action Day continues when we can expect a warm-up.
They're just a beautiful, wonderful, peaceful people.
Coloradans with Ukraine ties continue to do everything they can to show the country their support. How you can help. And a little later, high school students making some out-of-this-world cuisine that could be sent to the International Space Station.
Good morning and thanks for watching Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford. We have lots for you today. First, let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo for your Weather Action Day forecast. And Lisa, we're off to a much colder start today than what we saw last week.
We are, yeah, you're right. From 70s to snow and cold this weekend. That's Colorado for you. Big changes within just about a 5-day period. Right now, snow starting to pick back up in spots, mainly north of Denver from really Loveland up through Fort Collins. You're going to start to see a bit more up and through Boulder there along 36, starting to see more. And we're going to see that snow fill back in here along the Front Range throughout the day. So expecting another round today, likely another 1 to 3 inches near Denver. It'll be a little bit heavier in the foothills and also west of town on the west side of town, where we'll see likely another 2 to 4 inches by early tomorrow morning. Things will then clear out past that point, but it's going to be a cold, cloudy day. Teens, that's what it feels like. It feels like just 12 degrees in Denver right now with current temps in the teens and 20s. Not much of a warm up. We're going to go from right around 20 this morning to mid to upper 20s for highs this afternoon. So we have the polar plunge there at Wash Park. Wow, what a polar plunge, Jessica. It is going to be bitter cold. We'll take a closer look at the timing of the snow and how much more we're expecting coming up.
All right, thank you so much, Lisa. Well, we've got a crew keeping an eye on the roads in the metro as well this morning. Denver 7's Megan Lopez is heading westbound on 6th Avenue right now. How are things looking so far?
Hey, good morning, guys. Things are looking pretty okay. We've seen some people going real fast on the roads here, almost normal speeds on some of the roads. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see what we're talking about here on 6th Avenue. This is going to be the snowiest that we've seen. When I was driving in from the southbound area on I-25, it was completely clear. So normal highway speeds overnight and into this morning. I did see a crash off of Washington and Emerson on I-25, but I haven't really seen any crashes this morning. Been checking the CDOT website. Here we are going to pop onto I-70 to give you a shot of that. This is going to be your trickiest place, is going to be the exits, overpasses as well. We're going to be passing over this bridge. Those are going to be your iciest places. So you're just going to want to keep it nice and slow if you are planning on heading out today, but we're going to keep an eye on the road for you guys. Make sure everything stays safe. So come and watch Denver 7 and keep it back here, guys.
Thanks, Megan. Hoping all drivers stay safe out there. A third round of talks between Russia and Ukraine are set to start tomorrow. This comes as more than 1.5 million people have fled Ukraine for neighboring countries. President Biden spoke with Ukrainian President Zelensky yesterday. The Biden administration says it's working closely with Congress to secure additional funding to help the country as Russian forces continue to attack. As people continue to evacuate, many others are staying behind to fight.
We know why we are here. We know why we defend our country, and our guys that are actually standing there and fighting Russian military forces, they know what they are doing. Those guys, they don't. We know what we are doing, and that's why we will win.
In the meantime, Russian President Vladimir Putin warning a no-fly zone over Ukraine would constitute a declaration of war. Both Visa and MasterCard suspending operations in the country. The U.S. State Department warning all Americans to leave as soon as they can. Colorado Senator Michael Bennet was on that call with Presidents Biden and Zelensky yesterday morning. Afterwards, Bennet posting on Twitter saying we must continue to provide critical security assistance to bolster the Ukrainian resistance, send humanitarian aid to mitigate the growing refugee crisis, ban Russian oil imports to the U.S., and continue to punish Putin for his lawless war. Coloradans across the state keep showing their support for Ukraine in unexpected ways. In Colorado Springs, people gathered at a park to demonstrate. A Russian man and his daughter were there yelling, "Stop the war." He says he's been in Colorado Springs for about a year, but his daughter was born in Ukraine, and the rest of her relatives are over there too. He spoke very little English, but his daughter translated for us.
It's very tough and it's hard to just take in. It's hard to just be calm about it. It's horrible. We can't just let this happen.
He says they hardly sleep, constantly trying to communicate with everyone and make sure that their loved ones are safe. In the meantime, Coloradans with ties to Ukraine have been devastated by the images of their home country being destroyed, and they're doing what they can to help. The nonprofit Ukrainians of Colorado is raising money to send medical supplies and aid to Ukraine. Denver 7's Rob Harris sat down with a Colorado man hoping to make a life-saving difference.
If his native name didn't give away his heritage,
In Ukrainian, it's Andriy Lenets.
the artwork, trinkets, and flags at Andrew Lennox's home certainly would.
I have family in Ukraine. I spent 2 years in the Peace Corps there recently. I still keep in touch with many, many people in Ukraine. When there was an invasion, I was shocked. I mean, that first day I was absolutely numb, and I kind of had to take stock of what my emotions were.
I think all of us watching TV have been so struck by the before and after of these cities in Ukraine. But I got to think for you, you have the before in your head and then are seeing the after on TV. Tell me what that experience has been like.
Devastating. And I will tell you something, that the images that you're seeing on TV are understated. The horror is much greater. From my telephone calls and texts on a daily basis from people from Ukraine, from pictures that they are sharing, it's just beyond belief. It's horrific.
The phone calls from his friends and family in Ukraine have revealed the devastation there. They've also given him insight into what they need now most. Lennox joining the Ukrainians of Colorado, rallying for awareness, and raising money for medical supplies to send.
What we are witnessing is the manifestation of evil, pure evil. And how the world responds to this, that will be the history that will be written. If Ukraine is not helped, if it is not assisted, then our history is diminished. We as a species are diminished.
If you think your friends and family in Ukraine could get one message across to Americans watching right now, what do you think that message would be?
Support us, help us. In the beginning, it was, they were, and I will tell you this, they're very, very grateful for the moral support. It means a lot to them. It really does, to know that the world is watching and that everybody is coming together. Literally, almost the entire world is supporting Ukraine. Anybody who spends some time there falls in love with the country. They're just a beautiful, wonderful, peaceful people.
Rob Harris, Denver 7.
The organization has a goal of raising $100,000. If you'd like to donate, we have a link on our website, denverchannel.com. And a reminder, today is the last day of Dazbog Coffee's fundraiser for Ukraine. 5% of all in-store beverage sales and $3 per bag of Dazbog's Freedom Blend will go to the International Committee of the Red Cross. Dazbog is based in Denver. It was founded by two brothers in 1996 after fleeing the former Soviet Union in the late 70s. Well, a new crime trend is hitting one Metro car dealership, why owners are feeling helpless in protecting their property. Plus, one Boulder astronaut is about to make history. We'll tell you all about Jessica Watkins before she heads into space.